So I'm having a chat with Declan Mckenna. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thanks. So you're here doing a nice little record store tour, mini tour.
Town hall.
Yeah, I mean, you've been on tour quite drastically over the last couple of months since kind of COVID.
Really drastically. Drastic is the word.
How's it been being back on stage again?
It's great. It's not, it's just like we've been waiting for it for a long time. So it's really lovely, and I don't know, just so it's exhausting. Like it's tiring because it's just like it's like being an athlete, Or it is for me really, but I think it is for any performer. Like you're the way you're moving, the way you're singing every night, like all of that stuff, like really, takes it out of you if you're not prepared. So it's definitely had to pace myself a little bit over the course of it, and there's obviously a lot of challenges involved right now. But me and the band and crew and everyone was just so happy to be out there because we were really one of the first full tours sort of out again in the UK.
Yeah.
And so it's quite scary because like obviously the start of it was just like what is going to happen, and we were a bit on edge, but it was great. The shows were great, and it gave us a nice sense of confidence as we went along, but also just like amazing to be out playing shows again and seeing people in the crowds. That's just been extra special. You can't take that for granted at this point. No.
And he pushed a couple of those dates that was rescheduled to next year, and there's still loads of dates to come next year as well.
I know, yeah. There's so much coming now, which is, it feels good. Like obviously we were disappointed that so much stuff for so many various reasons has had to get like rescheduled this year. It's just been a nightmare. No, it's not just for us. It's for every band touring right now is having similar situations, but. It's exciting. I'm glad we've got stuff to look forward to, and it feels like next year, hopefully, I don't know when I'm going to have new music coming, but like, hopefully sort of that'll be closer to, and it'll just be like, really feel like we're out there again, and really feel like we're back to it in a properly. So, I couldn't be more excited for that. I think May we start again.
Yeah. And speaking of new music, you've already released a new single since your second album, My House. What can you tell us about the single?
So, I pretty much just made it like it was one of the first things I made like during the first lockdown, where I kind of thought it was just going to be a couple of weeks, and I was honestly just like I had genuinely been so exhausted. I'd been screaming for a break like for a while because we'd been putting together all the album stuff, and I was like. Like everyone was at the start, it was like a couple of weeks, be fine. Yeah. Everything will be back to normal again. So I was kind of buzzing because I just wanted to just sit at home and do nothing. Obviously, over time, it became a lot more challenging than that. But My House kind of came out of being just like, look, I've got myself here, and just kind of, I don't know, finding a bit of joy, really, it was, and finding a bit of, looking for yourself in that sort of isolated condition. But it's not an isolation song, really. I don't like to view it that way. It's just sort of one that came out at that time, and one about sort of some emotions that I think are quite common in my life anyway. Just like being apart from the people you love and having to find joy yourself, and having to and trying to connect with people at the same time. And I it's obviously kind of a slightly wonky version of that as well. But I was just really, the simplicity of it is the joy, and the fact that it kind of just came out of most of what you hear on the song is me in downstairs in the house I was living in sort of last year, and I like that out of tune guitars and just sort of like straight up a lot of vocals and random little synth sounds were just kind of there, and like done in the moment, and like that's kind of the feel of the song. It's feel good. I didn't want to do. I think releasing a song in this period of time, I didn't want to do something intense or like something that's trying to be overly analytical or anything, because I just could not handle it. Like I could not handle it whatsoever right now. Although there's lots of different stuff that I have done. Been kind of working on music constantly, whenever it's been sort of possible too. But yeah, and yeah, Neil Comber helped produce that, and then Rostam actually sang some backing vocals on it, as well as my friend Jake Passmore, Ali Buckley, Jason Burzel. So got a few friends as well singing and stuff on that too, which is also kind of nice and in the theme of the song. It's like a imaginary house party. A mega chill imaginary house party.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. And so obviously with all that time being locked down in the house, not doing much, I'm sure you must have written a lot of music in that time. So
yeah, it's mostly like sound experiments. Like mostly like there are some songs that I've written. Actually, there's quite a few songs. I'm lying. There's quite a few songs that I've written in that period of time. But I've just had a sort of extended period to really get into like producing stuff, and because I've always produced stuff and made demos, but like there's just like a couple of weird quirks and things that I'm trying to make into a thing on record, and so like I've kind of been doing that, like just finding that sort of playful energy that I had when I was recording on like a PC using like my brother's little 8-track as an interface. When I was sort of 14, 15, like trying to find that energy, but just with a bit more sort of confidence and know-how in terms of the production side of things. So like, yeah, it's that's been kind of, that was kind of what was behind My House, but it's also been behind a lot of the stuff I've done, albeit some of it more sort of intense or darker or whatever it is. But yeah, I've been getting in touch with that sort of side of things, and it's been really nice to just sort of find a bit of a contrast. So I'm coming now as we're sort of edging out of the sort of COVID world, I hope.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I don't feel confident saying that, but like, but that I kind of have a new perspective and a new direction for the music, which I'm kind of trying to do some way or another.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of records, the reason you're on this record store, your full tour that you've just done, is because you released a second album last year.
Last September. Got pushed back. Yeah, that was after being pushed back as well. Yeah. 2 or 3 times, and it's great. Yeah, it's great to do these shows. It's so funny that they're just like the in-store shows are generally like the week you put out the album, and that's kind of the whole point of doing it. But like, just going to be nice to do some smaller gigs. We've got a kind of weird setup going on. I've got my loop pedal back, which I haven't used in a gig in years.
Nice.
So it's a night. It's going to be nice. It's going to be super chilled and like.
You're doing this on your own today?
No, I've got 2 of my bands. So I've got Gabby, who plays drums, and Nathan, today he plays everything. So today he's doing keys, bass, bit of synth. We've kind of come up with an odd little combination of stuff to make it a little bit. I like to make, if we're doing semi-acoustic, it has to be kind of complicated. Like it can't just be like acoustic guitar, cajon, whatever. It has to be just like to make it really difficult for ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
It's good. It's just way more fun and way more interesting, and there's actually a lot of variation between what we're doing at the minute, even though we only practiced yesterday. So I'm really excited for it.
Leave them to set it up.
Yeah.
Let them sort it out.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, buzzing for it really. It's gonna be really nice to be in little rooms again as well. Like that's always. You're always kind of caught off guard by these shows, I think, because it's not like everyone's going, "Oh my God, you're playing at this venue," but it's like, Town Hall in Marlborough. It's gonna be lit. Like everyone, the little room, you can kind of just connect with everyone. So I think doing something a bit weird, where we're probably going to be bouncing off the people in the room a lot more, and needing that little bit of energy, might be a few surprises. And I think that's kind of the excitement of why live music coming back is so great.
Yeah, no, definitely. And this must bring your memories back to before you kind of got signed, because you weren't kind of signed in the normal way, were you? You kind of won a competition and...
Right, yeah. I kind of like... Yeah, I kind of stumbled into it. Like I made Brazil. That was kind of the focal point of all of it was doing that with my friend Max, and kind of out of that we were just sending it out to all of these places, Glastonbury Emerging Talent Competition, and then kind of ended up winning that and then signing at Glastonbury, So it was bizarre, and then I kind of just like dropped out of school and just started doing shows, and yeah, completely stumbled into it really. But yeah, I don't know. Brazil's been like, it's like the Lord of the Rings. It's just like it kind of keeps resurfacing in strange ways. But like that was like its first moment was just kind of, I don't know. It just spread, and all of a sudden there was these people chasing us, and I was like 16. It was very, very. It's weird to think about how chilled I was about the situation like a few years ago, because it is so weird. But yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And
Right.
well, touching on festivals and Glastonbury, what's next year going to be holding for you? Is it going to be a touring festivals year, or are you hoping to release more music as well?
I really want to get more music done. Like we've got shows in May, we've got festivals coming. But yeah, really before we go out and do those shows, I'd love to have something ready to give to the world. I feel in the right sort of space to be doing that, and to just, kind of, not that I'm excited to get these shows out of the way, but like they're just kind of the last bit until I'm going to go off and make my record really, or make whatever I'm going to make next. Like it's such early days, but yeah, that's really what I want to do is make some music. And get it out, because like I don't know, that's kind of like, it's like anything when you're waiting, and especially when we're waiting so long for this album to come out. It's like you got so many new ideas, and it's actually like been so long since a lot of these songs first came together. So yeah, excited for something new. I think that's always kind of the keep moving forward and keep pushing things.
Excellent. Well, Declan, it's been great having a chat with you.
Oh, lovely to chat to you too. Thank you.
Thanks very much.